All right, let me get this Salt Lake City reunion season 6 reunion part 2 out the way. The scroll reveals Candace's story. And Candace's story is supposed to be a fake page, and they did some, reverse engineering behind, the page to figure out that, oh, the number attached to the page is actually Lisa Barlow's number. So it's her the whole time going on people pages, making comments, trolling, doing all sorts of stuff of the nature like that. So, of course, Lisa is defending herself to say, no, it's not me, it's not me, it's not whatever, whatever. Angie was like, yes, it is you, and you just changed your number. So, obviously, we can't necessarily, look it up right now to the phone you got in your hand. And Whitney was here as her backup to say, like, yes, because I was helping her and we did. And that's how we figured out that it was her number. It was Lisa's. And of course, Lisa's like, no, it's not me, it's not me. Angie, yes, it was you. Here you go, Heather. Oh, and I believe her, and this and that. And then here goes Meredith. And Brian was just sitting there like, Brittany was just kind of just sitting there twirling around with her dress. I think Mary was just chilling, or did she say a couple words? And they just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Andy's like, okay. Lisa, explain yourself. She explained herself like it's not me, whatever. Um, but with all this back and forth, he's like, can y'all be quiet? And they was not listening to him. Ladies, I'm moving on. Can we be quiet? Hello, I'm here. I'm the hostess. I want to ask him a question. No, it's just you did this and you did this. So Andy gets up and just said, oh, I'm out. So he walks off stage, and of course they notice, like, oh no, Andy, come back, Andy, please. We didn't mean to. Sorry. Of course, Angie and Heather's over there laughing. Hee. We're so sorry, Daddy Andy. Ha 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 ha. And then the other couch is over there. It's not funny, you guys. Come on now. You guys are just playing too much. And so Andy comes back and he's like, come on now, guys. Like, for real, let's move on. Next question, I think, goes to Heather. Hell, I don't even know what the hell he asked at Heather. It had to do something with the screenshots, timeline, whatever. Because remember, they was all blaming it on, I think, Meredith at the time or something like that. But now we flipping it on Lisa. Somewhere along the line, this rolls into Lisa putting Heather's. This is stuff behind the scenes, not happen on camera on blast, about her having some photos of Meredith dating some guy, Rolling Thunder, something, blank. And this Heather's like, well, this is obviously like 3 years old news. And Lisa's like, well, no, it's something that you're holding on to use against Heather at some point. I don't know. But some stuff that's irrelevant to the show they arguing over. And Candy was like, all right, you know what? We're going to take lunch. Lunch cut. So while on break, of course, all the ladies, go separate on their little separate ways. We got Heather and Whitney over there speaking on Lisa, like, oh my gosh, you see how Meredith isn't having, well, they're speaking on Meredith. You see how Meredith isn't having Lisa's back? Like, oh my goodness. And then you got the other group over there. It was a Brown, Angie, Mary. Oh, well, you see how Lisa's acting so strange today? Like, I mean, she's acting mean like her normal self. Of course, she's acting mean, but she's not, how, she her outbursts and her crying and her dramatics. No, she's keeping it straight and keeping it poised. I don't know. She's trying to get I don't know. She's trying to twist it on us a little bit this time. And then you got Lisa and Meredith over there like, man, why are they so obsessed with me? Because what? They just want to be on us. They just all they care about is just talking about us, like, for real. But you do know we're gonna have to talk about that plane ride though. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it, but make sure we have each other's back when we get there, okay? Yep, because they ain't gonna take us down. Nope. So we get on Mary for a minute here, how's the church and all that stuff. As we know, well, most of us know if you follow the blogs or just the news or whatever, it pops up to you. Robert Jr. got arrested, you know what I'm saying, jail currently. February is coming up where he will get his next trial or whatever. So he will actually be sentenced. I think he's just been waiting to be sentenced. So how does Mary feel about that? She is, I guess, actually happy that her son is somewhere not doing drugs. Tough love is always the best experience or the best, right? Um, Instead of always enabling or giving them everything all the time. So she's going to try a different approach this time. Like, do like my mama did. She kicked me out or whatever because I was acting up. And it was like, oh, yeah, for real. And it's like, yeah. I was about 18 or something like that. So, he's a man now. Stand up, do what you got to do. And hopefully, he learns from this. Speaking of her mother, RIP, does she regret not reconciling with her mom before she passed? And she says, no, 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 no. Because, I guess they already been estranged for so long. For her, it was like, well, why do I even want to bring that back? Right? So, okay, fine. The documentary about her church, is it a cult or is it nah? Um, I watched it. For me, it was just like a smear campaign, really. It wasn't any definitive evidence of anything to be of such cults. Because I've watched a lot of documentaries on, like, okay, Jim Jones and, People's Temples and stuff like that. And, you know, they really do stuff. Mary's church, no. She doing a lot of hooting and hollering. And, her kink is money, obviously. Okay. For her, how does she feel about it? Like, girl, she can care less. It's kind of like, oh, well, everybody talk about me anyway. So, talk about me, they talk about my grandma, they talked about Jesus. So, water's off a duck's back. And they like, okay, it is old news. Like I said, it wasn't nothing new in the documentary that I thought was interesting besides maybe some of the family facts, some of the family history. That was very interesting. But everything else was like, nah, this is just a smear campaign. Some people was hating or some people was mad. Like, I don't know. Like, whatever. But like I said, she don't care about it. The ladies don't really care about it. Whitney gave up that whole thing that she was trying to do back in the day against her. Um, and what else Mary got going on? Robert Sr., he be visiting his son or maybe go visit him or he be talking to him too, so he ain't lonely. Send him a book. Oh yeah, send him Heather's book. You read Heather's book, Mary? Oh no, I ain't read it. Oh, okay, well maybe you should because there's a chapter in there about you. And she's like, oh okay, well maybe I'll get to it then. Oh, so then speaking of churches, Lisa, you were sending cases to Vita to the Church of Satan. I guess they actually sent a statement to Bravo, so Andy reads it, and basically they said that they never ordered no Vita from her, or they don't know who she is, or nothing about it, basically. And Lisa was like, okay, whatever. Well, I got the receipts. I definitely sent them two cases, and blah 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 blah. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. You really did that? That's really a church of Satan? Oh my God, Brown. There's two actually. And I know of the what is it, Aleister Crowley? Yeah, that's a church of Satan. But whether she did or she didn't. So Mary, did you like that Brittany said that she was the least Christ-like person that she ever met? And she was like, no, like, cause I don't even, me and Brittany obviously they don't click at all. So they going through it back and forth, and she's like, yeah, I ain't like that, hurt my feelings, whatever, whatever. And Brittany like, well, I ain't like that. I said it, honestly, I'm sorry. I said it in the moment. You came at me just with all this, stuff about me pointing your finger in my face and you're ugly and this and this and that. And I didn't even provoke you to do such things. So that's all I'm saying. And um, they going through the little back and forth about it. But yeah, Brittany and Mary just ain't gonna never be friends. Ain't gonna not be friends. And she's trying to say, like, basically now, look at the way you acting now. It's definitely not Christ like. And Andy asked, are you ever gonna like her? And Mary's like, no, we're not gonna like each other. We're not gonna be friends. We just don't. Mm-mm. Okay, so this part gets a little tricky here, I guess. Because Mary is activated for sure on this episode, okay? Um Andy asked Mary about her commenting on how Meredith was not sticking up for Lisa on the yacht. And she was saying, yeah, basically, and Lisa's like, well, we are friends. And Meredith said, Mary said, oh, yeah, we're your friends now. And Meredith was like, well, on the yacht, I did not, as her friend, I didn't even look up the lawsuit stuff and all that whatever Bronwyn and Whitney was talking about. So I was letting them do their thing 101. That's why I was out of it, because I didn't really know what was being necessarily said. You know what I'm saying? So why would I jump into something that I didn't have the facts to back it up with, right? And yeah, so Mary is like, well, yeah, y'all friends, good friends now. Because back then, remember, you was the one that said that she slept with all of New York and all this stuff. And Lisa's like, girl, come on, please. That stuff is old. Y'all keep bringing up the same stuff all the time. And Andy had to stop her there just for a second to say, like, well, I mean, come on now. It was a big moment, which it was, um, the family that poses. um, and they fell out for about a good, year or so over it. But they managed to get back to the friendship that they had versus how they do with the other ladies. Okay. So Meredith was just trying to say, well, see, that's the thing. Them thinking that I'm holding grudges and whatever against them, when they see right before their eyes that I can easily get over it, move on, and get back to being friends, because that's what I did with Lisa. What when and I think they should actually just say, like, I mean, honestly, we are friends. They came on the show as friends, so I'm assuming that they've known each other for years and actually do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the case, because that's how real friends do. You fight, and we come back together. Whitney and Heather, didn't y'all have a falling out? I mean, y'all is cousins or whatever. But without the cousin part, y'all was gonna come back together, right? And anybody saying nothing about that? Yeah, so Andy was trying to ask Lisa, was she, cool that Mary was actually trying to stick up for her or whatever. And Mary was like, man, she don't even care. She don't even know what she's talking about. And she's like, she was a little, a little blank face for a moment. So Andy just let it ride, like, okay, I like where this is going. Like, she don't even know what you're talking about. And they're like, ha 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 ha, yeah, she got it right there. And she's like, oh goodness, Mary, just cut it out. Like, I don't even understand. I'm trying to answer the question. Well, answer the question, Andy. Answer the question. Andy asked you the question. Well, don't tell me what to do. I'll answer the question when I get to the dang question. I'm like, oh my goodness. Just like Brittany over there. Where's the popcorn? Juicy. So they going back and forth, and Mary basically just breaks. Well, I wouldn't say break her down, but basically laid her out, trying to say, like, Lisa, you are just a horrible person. You're so dark. You're evil. All you do is talk about all the ladies. You did it to remember when you remember you was calling me my church cult back in the day, and you brought Cameron on the show. Do you remember that? Um, do you remember what you did to Lisa, Whitney? Do you remember what you did to Brittany? Do you remember what you did? Yeah, it's you, and that you did at BravoCon. It's all you, Lisa. You're the one. I'm trying to get you out of the dark place. I'm trying to help you out because you're the one that needs some saving. And Lisa's like, I'm not the one who needs any saving. And the whole time she was sitting there just like this. And the other ladies was clocking it, like, you see her, she's not reacting. She's not reacting at all, guys. This is like the first time she's literally not bursting into tears, not going in and out of sanity. She's just whatever, Mary. If that's how you want to be, then that's how you're going to be. Because we already discussed this. We went over, we have 5 years to apologize to you and talk about it. But whatever, if that's how you want to be, then fine. So where do Meredith and Brittany stand today? Nowhere. So why did Brittany bring up the Seth TikTok, about him cheating on Meredith up on the boat? And pretty much she was just saying it was only because it was her in response to Meredith trying to call her an alcoholic and all that stuff just because she threw up a little bit. Like, dang. So I just said that back just to get back at her. Like, okay, whatever. Did anybody think it was true? No, did nobody believe it? And Bronwyn kind of butts in a little bit on this conversation because it's like, well, why are people coming for each other marriages, right? And, Bronwyn's like, well, I mean, obviously, easy target. Y'all was coming at me, do, in mine, for definitely a minute. And you definitely got it. I forgot. As cute as, Sean is, he's just a little bit too cute, I guess. But we're over it. Married, first season, grandfather, yeah. But should we be doing this? No, it's low hanging fruit. It's below the belt. So did Brittany have any little extra proof that Seth was actually cheating? And she's like, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it ain't gonna hold up in court, but it's some hearsay type stuff. Basically, Seth said something to Jared, the other Eisman, and he told Brittany what Jared said, or what Seth said, which was, "Oh, I got two girlfriends." Okay, so she ran with that narrative, and that's what it is. So Meredith's like, "Oh my God, whatever." And apparently she must have told Lisa this. Okay, I don't know why we would tell Lisa this, knowing that she was going to go back and tell Meredith this. She calls Seth on the phone, and this is literally while Andy was trying to move on to the next thing. But nope. Seth, can you tell these girls that you are not cheating on me? Andy's going to get them to be quiet for at least 1 minute or so. Okay, so you can just say what you're going to say. And Seth is on the other hand like, no, I'm not cheating. I'm infatuated with you. I love my wife. Oh, I love her so much. Anybody who believes I'm cheating, they must believe in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, okay? And Andy's like, okay. Can we move on here? I don't know why anybody wants any accountability from Brittany. I mean, Meredith do be having seizures like every time. Accountability, malicious, despicable, disgusting. Like, come on now. Who asked that dumbass question? Bronwyn apologizes for throwing the unicorn overboard. She didn't mean to. I mean, she didn't, it hurt her feelings, right? So I'm sorry. So I guess the plane ride, like, why didn't nobody record? Because that's what we all wanted to know. Like, who had the footage? I was hoping that somebody would have had a little piece of something, but nobody had nothing. I guess, well, Heather's speaking up at this point, I guess, to say that, listen, well, if somebody had recorded, it would have not been a good thing because that person, for me, this Heather speaking, that's a vile thing for a person to do. Like, why do this and record? Plus, we see what happened when Brittany was trying to record. They jumped on her. Second, we don't record each other. Like, we're friends. And then they ended up going through this whole back and forth between Heather and Meredith about what was actually going on the plane because it was just so much. It was so bad. Like, the girl does act like she don't even remember. I do remember what I said. Oh, yeah? Because when I told you what you said that you didn't know what the heck was happening. That you didn't remember saying it at all. You denied it. And then I talked to Lisa about it, and she said that she saw it and she knows. So how come you don't know? You're the only one. And it's like, oh, Jesus. Back and forth, back and forth. And what did Meredith say? She said something like, Heather, listen, you was screeching at me. And, oh, wait, before she got to the screeching part, she said, when it came to Brittany, you didn't even have my back when it came to her. So I was a little bit upset with you when it came to that. And then, yeah, screeching and hollering at me about what I did and didn't do. And Heather's like, for real? Screeching and hollering at you. I have been a good friend. And you know what? Forget this. You're not my friend anymore. Not anymore. We're done. And Meredith is like, ugh, okay. Okay, so we're trying to get into this plane ride of what happened, but the ladies are doing a lot of talking at the same time, okay? Which is very frustrating for us viewers and definitely for Andy, okay? But, because we're trying to get Brittany's story and Meredith's story. So, basically Meredith was just trying to say like, okay, so if it was so bad as these ladies are trying to say that I acted and what I did was so horrible, then why did nobody come up to me and say, girl, is you okay? What can we do? Can I help you? Or why didn't nobody go up to Brittany and say, hey girl, is you okay? Do you need some help? Can I switch seats with you? Anything like that. But no. Oh, well, because we couldn't do that because we were in the middle of descending. So, we couldn't switch seats like that. Oh, well, we couldn't do this or something because, or that when it came to the TikTok and Whitney, because remember I guess it was shown on Whitney's phone or something, and Meredith was trying to get it and rip her out of her hands and all this stuff. But no, I didn't do that. I tried to ask you for the phone and asked you to look it up for me, and you said no, you ain't want to do that, and then you did all this and did that. Oh, so you do remember what you did on the flight? Yes, I remember what I did on the flight. You the ones that's acting like I did this. Production was there. Why don't you ask production what happened? And he's like, well, production was there, but she was like parked like maybe a little bit back, a little bit of ways. So, depending on what was happening, Meredith in the moment now is still defending that she really didn't do too much, and all the girls are just throwing it all out of proportion. And the ladies are like, no, we did not blow this out of proportion. You was actually acting up, and we all took you to the side at different moments. Andy said, I took you what? I talked to you when you went to the bathroom. Heather, I talked to you when we landed on the plane, and I sent you text messages. Whitney, didn't we talk before the plane landed or something like that? Okay, whatever, I don't know. But either way, it's just blowing it out of proportion, okay, guys? So Andy's just asking Meredith, like, okay, so what do you deny that did not happen on the plane? Okay, from what all the ladies are saying, you did this, you did that, you did that. What is the lie? And she like, okay, well, I did not have any physical contact with Brittany at all. I was talking to Lisa the whole time. When I got up, that's the only time I got some contact with her is when I went up to go to the bathroom where I guess I had to cross each other or something like that to get around to go to the plane. So I'm guessing they must have been in the same row or something. I don't know. Either way, in that moment, that's when she so-called shook the chair a little bit too much, a little bit too aggressively to say, okay, well, you was getting a little bit physical. Somewhere along the line, that wine got spilt on her. I don't know if that's what we consider physical, but she's denying anything to those natures that they're trying to say. That's not me. I did not do it. Okay, so Andy says, all right, well, let me ask you this. Did you or did you not have a drink before you boarded the plane? And they all looking, and Whitney was like, and I had to, and I stopped, because let's just be real here. Group of ladies on vacation. You drink before you go on the plane to get to your destination? Are you drinking on your way back home? Mind you, vacation, right? Last day on our way home. Because I know some people do. I'm just saying. And Meredith was like, you know what? Before I answer this question, because I'm gonna come back to this, okay? I'm gonna come back. Let's get down to the root of it all, which is why me and Brittany ain't friends in the first place. All right, so we're gonna end this episode with the rant of Brittany because Meredith goes on to explain that the reason why they had this whole breakdown between each other is over a nail tech, okay? Whatever nail tech was doing Meredith's nails reached out to Brittany to do her nails for the low, for the free, right? Okay. Do the nails, cool. She posts, all that stuff you're supposed to do. Come to find out, dude is anti-Semitic, okay? Said a whole bunch of horrible things about the Jews and Israel and whatever. So, Meredith takes this to heart because it's so sensitive to me. And oh my God, how could she? I guess she wanted Brittany to call her to let her know that the dude or female man, I don't know who it was, tech was anti-Semitic, but she did not. And so once Meredith found out, then I guess she assumed that Brittany was going along with this person or agreeing with this person, which in turn made her anti-Semitic. Okay, so that's where Meredith, you lose me. I mean, you kind of lost me already, right? But this ridiculous because she always does this, like seizures. My daughter had a seizure. I take it to heart. Um, what? Who else said something about something? What? I have a fundraiser and I help out people with those diseases. Like, okay, so she's pulling out the tears. She's pulling out the works for Andy. It's so sensitive, Andy. I'm just so sensitive. I can't believe she did this to me. I can't. But then they dry up real quick because, yes, you disgusting. And of course, Brittany is over there is like, what? Are you serious? Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, she says the same thing basically, but she's like, he was your nail tech before he was mine. So in my mind, I would assume that you would already be privy to said information. So that's why I did not reach out, I guess, fast enough for you. And the ladies are kind of going back and forth a little bit and, trying to just tell her, well, I mean, just say sorry and all this stuff and, apologize, whatever. I already apologized. I already said sorry and this and this and that. We already went through it. Like I hugged her and I pleaded and I prayed and I because I'm not a bigoted person. I'm not a prejudiced person. I'm not anti-Semitic. Like, that's the worst thing you could put on anybody. Like, of course, white people, they don't want nobody calling them no type of racist, right? Because I'm not. Like, this is crazy. How dare you? This is messed up. I can't believe this. I'm not going to sit for this. I'm gone. So she gets up and she actually leaves. Fuck this. I can't believe this. No, I'm not a victim. I'm not. You guys just bullying me and I can't believe this. And she walks off, and that's just the end of the show. So this is part 2. We got one more. Boo, 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 boo. Lucky number 3. Shoot, we probably could have got 4, but I think we're packing it in. We're packing it in. So we're get to the next one next week. Whatever. I'm up in Michigan. We got freezing stuff coming up this weekend. I know everybody got the warning, but for us, we know it's real. So, and I gotta go to work. But anywho, get to y'all next time. Bye. Thanks for watching.